Okay. It's still not doing something. It won't let me minimize this. Oh, come on. What is happening, y'all?
The devil is a liar.
He is, and he is working.
We
All right,
are experiencing, where is the bar to type? Where is the bar to type?
Oh, wait, third time's a charm. Here we go. Let me go back to the opener. All right, let's see. All right. Here.
Hey family, it's time for Winedown with your host Missy and the Winedown Wednesday crew. Join us tonight as we discuss topics that affect families on a daily basis. So grab your glass, your cup, or even your blanket. Settle in on the couch and join us in the room as we go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hola, family, and welcome in the room. We apologize for the delay in starting tonight. It has been a night of technical difficulties, and so we are just a few minutes late. We are going to get right into the conversation because our guest tonight actually has some postpartum duties, which is our conversation tonight. So we're going to get right in and talk to you all. We welcome everyone that is watching, that continues to watch. We absolutely appreciate your support. I am Melissa Davis, Missy, which I will change that in a second. And I am the owner of Hands of Melody Doula Services. I'm so excited that my other doula has joined us in the room tonight. She'd be so busy. She'd be working. She'd be multitasking. Dawn is in the room with us, and Selena's in the room with us, which I'll introduce in a second. We are your 3 doulas in the room tonight. Also joining us are some very familiar faces. We have Angie, as always. We have Rachel, we have Sheen, and we have Sharon with us tonight. And we are grateful. And I see Naomi is also joining us in the room tonight. So we are appreciative. Couple ground rules: no hate speech. We are free to disagree and agree, but we do it respectfully. So if you need our services, birth or postpartum, all of our information is will be in the outro this afternoon or this evening, so you can reach out to us. Joining us, as I said, Selena is in the room with us. So Selena is one of the birth doulas that serves with us when Dawn and I have had the need for a backup, and she's our go-to. So if you get myself, Dawn, or Selena, we all actively work the same way. We are all about autonomy for your body, your birth, your baby. And Selena also serves as a postpartum doula. I don't think people really understand what postpartum doulas are, so we're going to talk tonight. And I know at some point, as I said, Selena will jump out and we'll continue the conversation. But postpartum doulas are there. One, I think your main goal sometimes is to keep people's sanity, because those first few days to weeks home with that new little person, whether you have a partner or not, sometimes to have someone there that understands where you are postpartum, it saves you. I posted earlier in a group, I said, how many of you in my twin groups, how many of you use a postpartum doula? I think if you have twins, you get 2 doulas. That's just my thought. But if you have, and believe it or not very many people that have multiples have had a postpartum doula. And one said, I simply did it to keep myself from having PTSD. And that was a powerful statement, and a very true statement. So Selena is going to tell us a little bit about what a postpartum doula actually is, like what she does. It's not a nanny, not a babysitter, it's postpartum. So, hey, Selena, thank you for joining us, and welcome. Can you tell us what you do as a postpartum doula? Because I know people vary, but what do you do as a postpartum doula?
Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be here and talk a little bit about postpartum support. So it can look different ways. And what I always tell my clients is, it's going to look the way it needs to look for your family. It looks different for every single family. And I think that, there's so much uniqueness. I think that we get a little bit sidetracked thinking, oh, this was my friend's birth story, or this is what happened when my sister had her baby. This is what their home looked like. And we need to get away from that. It's okay to figure out what your family needs, right? So I show up to support your family and whatever that's supposed to look like for you. So there's 2 different things. Like there can be daytime postpartum support, and then there can be overnight postpartum support. I mostly do overnight postpartum support. The longest shift I've ever done was a 14-hour straight shift with a family of foreign service workers who were leaving for Honduras the next day. And so they just wanted to have time to just be by themselves and regroup, their brains before they have to do this huge move with this 3-month-old baby and move to Honduras. So we were in a hotel and they were on one side and I was on the other side. We had a communal kitchen area. It told me exactly what we need to do to feed the baby. And I don't think I saw them for 14 hours, just me and the baby. So for their family, that's what they needed. And so I use that example to just show you how different it can look. I worked with another family where the dad had broken his shoulder and he was very committed to his 2 a.m. feeding for his son, but he couldn't hold the bottle. And so I would get up and put the baby in like in a bouncer, and then get the bottle ready. And dad just wanted to hold that bottle and just give baby the bottle. And I would do the rest of like burping the baby, getting him changed and getting him back to sleep. But for that family, that's what it looked like. And so when I come into, the home, I like to know what the feeding plan is going to be for the baby. Is it strictly nursing? Or are we supplementing with formula? Are this baby is 100% formula fed baby. It doesn't matter. However you nourish your baby, it's fine. I will be there to support that. And it might mean that I'm with the baby the majority of the night, and then I bring the baby into mom when baby is hungry to nurse. Sometimes I stay with the client if they feel like they just need that extra hand or confidence. We got babies with crazy hands and they're putting their hands all in the way. And, it's kind of like when you're trying to learn how to nurse, these things are really hard to it's a lot of moving parts, literally, like your baby is moving. So, I might stay there with the client depending on their comfort level. If they ask me to stay, I stay. If they say, hey, I think I got it, I'll text you when I'm done, then I leave the room and I let them have that time with their infant. They would normally tell me when they're done, I come back and I get the baby. I do the burping, I do the changing, I do the swaddling, I get baby back to sleep. And so basically what it looks like is it's rest for mommy and for daddy, right? A lot of times when I show up, dads go in the basement or somewhere else in the house. They're like, I'm out of here. Like, this is the night I get to like rest because it's less work for dad when I'm there.
Right.
And so, and there are many times I had a client the other day. I never saw the client. I don't even know what she looks like. She was upstairs the whole time. Dad let me in. Dad showed me where everything was. I was in the living room with the baby the whole night. Baby was formula fed. So when dad finally went to bed, I didn't see anybody else till morning. I had another client who I didn't even see what the baby looked like until the third day because they kept her room for their family. They wanted her room to be very dark. She was 100% formula fed. The formula was in the room. So I didn't even have to leave the room, but it would just be me and baby. I could kind of see her like with my cell phone light or, with the little bit of a light they had on their noise machine. But it wasn't until the third morning they were actually leaving town and I was helping them get ready to go to the airport. So baby was in the stroller in the hallway and I was like, oh, looking at her face in the daylight. Like this was the first time I really got to see her face. So again, it doesn't matter to me. It matters that, you have the support that you need for your family. And that could mean helping with some issues with latching or, baby is spitting up. We're not sure why. Like usually when I come in and I'm working with a client regularly, they'll say, this is what baby has been doing today. Any ideas about what this might mean? So, if you're giving baby, you just started giving baby 6 ounces and before they were taking 5 and they weren't spitting up and now they're spitting up, like maybe they might be, eyes are bigger than their stomach. And, so we try some different things. All doulas don't leave detailed notes like I do. And I have found that like sometimes that is a little off-putting for other doulas because they're like, I don't keep notes like Selena, which is fine. For me, it's a matter of in the morning, I'm leaving a shift. It's 6 a.m. We don't know how the night went. So for me to recall it all, it's for me and the kind of learner that I am, I literally just take notes all night and I send those to my clients so that you will be able to look at that and know what helped. When they were gassy, this is what helped. This is what did not help. And this is what they liked. This is what they did not like. And the bottom line for me, and when I'm supporting families, is helping the family get to know their baby. So that's that's my philosophy. You can read all the books and take all the classes, but your baby is a unique human being. And so being able to observe and really get to know your baby is going to really give you a leg up in the parenting journey.
And I like that. I like that your goal is to figure out what that family needs. I read an article. I think we talked about this article in one of the chats a while ago where a mom had posted that she had a postpartum doula. The postpartum doula would come in at like 9 o'clock and be there till like 7 in the morning. But she would be like, here's baby. I'm going to, put some candles around the tub. I'm just going to relax and soak. And everybody was like, oh my God, like it was an uproar. And for me, in my mind, what were you mad about? Like, I don't understand that, because sometimes that's all you need. You need to recharge. Parenting is the only thing that we do 24/7, 365. Some of us don't even get a vacation. Some of us, it's like you are the primary caregiver. You are everything. And so if you don't recharge your battery, you have nothing to give. So bringing a postpartum doula in doesn't have to, like she said, look like your friend had a postpartum doula. This is what we need. This is what we need you to do. And we call them postpartum doulas because they are usually with your family during the postpartum time frame. Postpartum, 4th trimester, 12 weeks. That can be extended depending on the circumstances. And your doula, if you've said maybe a horrible delivery, maybe a C-section that you're still trying to, like, that can be extended. But I like the fact that Selena just said, whatever your family needs. So the question is, what is your longest running, like, so if I called you and said, hey, I want a postpartum doula, what is the normal time frame that people normally need postpartum doulas?
So it just depends on that person's individual healing journey, right? Because, the postpartum 4th trimester is when you're trying to heal, and there's a lot of healing that has to go on. There's spiritual healing, there is, physical healing, there's emotional healing, there is this transitional thing that's happening because you went from having like no baby to having an entire baby. And so these things, are different for everybody. It can also be sometimes, like I had a client back in September, and I was supposed to be with the client the whole September, but the baby went back into the NICU. So we resumed this month. And so whatever that needs to look like for that family, like obviously, I'm not needed if the baby is in the NICU. And so I came back when I was needed. My longest client, this is a good, I think it's a great example for especially what you're asking for, Melissa, like, when do people need a postpartum doula? In December of last year, I had a single by choice mom, and I was her birth doula. And while we were in the hospital, her support it basically transitioned from birth support to postpartum support. And so I was her only person in the hospital with her. I spent the first night in the hospital with her and the baby. So I was with her for a full 24 hours. So birth, and then 24 hours after that, I was with her to help support her with the first few hours with her son. And then I ended up providing postpartum support 3 or 4 days a week for 4 months. And so I got to see this baby grow up, I saw his birth, and I saw him all the way to 4 months of age. And so, so that to me was great. And it looked for her like she kind of got the hang of nursing. And of course that took a little while. And then he grew up and he got a little older and didn't really need to nurse as much at night. So on the nights when I was there, she just slept, and I gave him pumped milk. And then, the final feeding in the morning, like as I was leaving, I would leave him with her so that she could nurse, and then I would leave. And so that's just, the kind of the way that it looked. And I'm inside of homes when extended family is there. Grandma is there. She's there. I hear a lot of, I really thought my mother-in-law was going to be able to help me, but it turns out she snores like a freight train and doesn't hear the baby either. So these things happen, right? Like everything is not, all that glitters is not gold. And so you might have a plan in place and think like this is perfect, this is going to work out fine, and then realize that it's not working out fine. And there is also the family dynamic piece that comes into play. Like I've got clients who have mom living in the house, and they appreciate and love her for her support, but they don't have the autonomy to be the parents that they want to be. So it sometimes gives a bit of a confidence, it really alleviates the tension in the household when they can say, well, Selena said this is what Selena taught us to
Yes.
do. And for the most part, I get along with everybody. I get along with grandma, so it kind of cuts through that whole, like, my mom is telling me to do it this way and she's not listening to me when I say, Dawn with the hope. Oh, that's Dawn. Dawn is always popping up with babies. Dawn got babies in her pockets. But yeah, so that's, and one of the other things you said, Melissa, I really want to touch on is the person you said was getting the doula, the postpartum doula, then they were, lighting the candles and taking their bath. I have done daytime postpartum for people that that's the day that they're going to dye their hair. Like, I'm going to touch up my roots. So I know I can do this. I don't have to be interrupted. I'm going to be in my shower. I hear the podcast going on. They're in the shower and it's just me and baby hanging out and chilling. So here's the thing. I'm from the generation, and so are many other people on this call, that there was like basically no good deed went unpunished. And so we were taught this resilience where you didn't ask for help, or if you needed help, you were afraid to ask for help. And we have this very toxic independence. Like, I am definitely one of those people like, oh, I can do this myself. I don't need help. And a lot of times that's true. I don't. But I really love this newer movement of people saying, it's okay. I need help. I want my sleep. I value and prioritize me, right? Because when you take care of yourself, it's a gift to your children.
So what else if I called and said, hey, I'm looking for a postpartum doula, other than baby care? Do postpartum doulas do anything else? Load a dishwasher, maybe baby's laundry. What can we expect other than baby care, or is it specific to baby care and mommy care?
So I'm pretty flexible. If I was like, let's say, single by choice mom, or a mom who was there and, dad was out of town that week and it was just a little overwhelming, I'm going to jump in wherever I need to. For the most part, though, just to be sort of like safely say like what it normally looks like, at night for an overnight shift, I'm mainly taking care of baby, but I will, if mom pumps milk, I will come and get that milk from her. I have parents, I usually encourage them to put it in a bucket and just, put the milk in the pump piece in the bucket, and I'll either refrigerate those pump pieces or wash them, whatever their plan is. I usually wash all of the bottles and pump parts. I was just with a family over the weekend, and when I tell you, the dad had 3 separate containers, and he had a whole process for his cleaning of the parts, and it was like a 3-stage process. And I said, okay, maybe you can explain to me like your system. And so he was kind of explaining it to me, and I said, well, I'll be happy to clean these for you, while you're sleeping. He said, well, if you have any downtime. And I said, I'll probably have some downtime. And so what I did is I washed it. I usually try to acquaint myself. Where's your sterilizer? Where do you put the wash, the clean, the sterilize, right? And so I just, I cleaned all those bottles and pump pieces. I may go grab the milk from mom and label, put the milk in the bags and label them with the date. I gave a baby a bath the other day when I did a daytime postpartum shift. It seemed like mom was nervous about it. She said he hates baths. And I said, okay, well, why don't we give him a bath? And so she was running the water, and she was like, what do you think this? What do you think about this temperature? And I was like, no, it should be warmer. And then she increased and I understood her hesitation because she doesn't want to burn her baby.
Right.
But basically she was putting the baby in pool water. Like, it was cold. Like, it was, so I think the baby was hating it because it was probably cold when she bathed him before. And I said, no, it should be like lukewarm, warm, you don't want it to be a shock to him when you put him into, the bath. And he was a chunky little one. He reminded me of my son when he was little, which, people who know me know how big my child was when he was an infant. So, we gave him a bath. You got to get all the nooks and crannies, and get him nice and warm. And oh my God, he slept so good after that. But, it could be that. It can be, I've never done this before. I don't know how to cut my baby's nails. I don't know what to do with all this stuff we got in the baby shower. Can you help us organize it? It could be like organizing the clothes into, 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months. It could be that, right? And so typically these things have to do with like the baby, but I'm happy to jump in, and like I carried luggage out for the client who was leaving the next morning for, you know, for the airport. Like, you know, whatever we need to do, because it is a village, right? And I know, you know, Melissa's always saying it's a village. So if I'm in the home, I'm part of your village. What do you need? Like, what do you need from me? How can I be of best assistance to you?
So is it better to, well, I put it this way. How often are you hired pre-birth versus somebody's reaching out because they are on 99 of their 100 and they need help?
It varies. It definitely varies. I prefer, and this is a very recent thing, I prefer to take clients that are also interested in postpartum support. And that is a new development, because now I'm doing birth work full time. And so for me, it feels really good to, like, you know, work with clients before the baby is born, to be there and, you know, support them during their birth, and then to come into the home afterwards and be able to help them. Like, it's like you really know them, like you really know what they've been through. And so I can make better suggestions on, you know, hey, you know, you just had a cesarean. How about we do it this way? You know, maybe we need to set you up over in this area because there's less stairs, and, you know, these sorts of things. And so it just depends. But yeah, if you know, I think I just saw somebody put in a chat that they like a dad who's involved. Dad take charge. Do I do travel nanny? I have not traveled with a family yet, but I absolutely would. Somebody was like, oh, you know, we have a business trip and we're taking the whole family and we don't know, you know, I would absolutely do that. And I've worked with a lot of foreign service workers, and they do a lot of not traveling, but they literally move. The baby that I was with for 4 months eventually moved to Malaysia. So yeah, so I mean, it just depends on, you know, what these families need. You know, I've had people who didn't need postpartum support, and then they may have had a complication after birth, or it got an injury or something like that, and then I would come back into the home to help them when things are tough. Or I'm the birth doula, and then I don't see them for 2 months because they have an extended relative helping them, and when they leave, then I come in and sort of help with that transition. Like, it's very, I really don't recommend, like, we have all hands on deck and now we have nobody. I don't recommend that for anyone. I think you really should bridge the gap somehow, because, you know, these transitions, hard and fast transitions, help and no help, that's just not, you know, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good.
That is, yeah, that's the thing. That's why we tell people too, if your insurance company will pay for some extra time at the hospital, like, try not to be pushed out the door at 24 hours, because you are going from, and you hate it, somebody in your room every couple of minutes, like, I can't get a nap. But at the same time, as soon as you go home, it's like, especially first baby, here. And then you get home and you like, oh, okay. And if your partner has never been, like, you know, I have a dad right now that's like, I don't even know how to hold a baby. So now I got to take that heavy doll that Dawn made for us, this big heavy doll baby, and I got to take this and show this dad how to change a diaper, how to hold a baby, like all of that kind of stuff. So now you got two inexperienced people that is left alone with a baby. And so we tend to get mother-in-law, best friend, sister, everybody there. And then they're like, oh, baby's 5 days old. Okay, I'm out. And now you're like frantic. So that is a great suggestion to, if you're going to have a postpartum person, bring them in before all your help leaves so they can transition in, and so that you have like a seamless kind of transition. And it's good if you can get a birth doula that is a birth doula and a postpartum doula, because a lot of doulas do birth and then like follow up postpartum, you know, a couple times depending on what, you know, your contract is, and then they're gone. I know for us, we don't drop you off at the door. We keep you supported. You know, we got babies that's just old, so we stay with you, but you're not going to find that with a lot of, you know, birth doula agencies. It's like, you signed up for one postpartum visit. I'm gonna give
100%.
one, and then If
Yeah.
you need me, now I'm about to charge you all this for just even to be able to call you and ask a question. So make sure that you know what you're getting. Make sure that, as Celine says, you know what to expect, what everything is clearly defined. Selena's a family person, and that makes a difference as well, because some doula work is a business and some doula work is your life's work and your family. And for us, our village is family. Like, unless you just like, I don't want nothing else to do with y'all, I'm out. We say you stuck, like, welcome home, welcome to the house, whatever, but you don't get that with a lot. So Selena, we appreciate you. Any of the ladies have questions? Because I know Selena actually has a postpartum that she is doing tonight. So if anybody has any questions before she jumps off, and then I have some questions for you all about the postpartum time frame, hearing what Selena said about postpartum doula. So does anybody have any questions before she goes smell a baby, like Dawn is open, smell a baby? Go ahead, Nay.
I did. So, sometimes I could be a little bit ridiculous, but I'm going to ask my question anyway, because I know somebody else on this chat is probably thinking it. So, in lieu of me being ridiculous, as a postpartum doula, so I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I still consider myself postpartum, even with that 4-year-old. Okay. So can I call you and say, hey, Selena, I'm going on vacation with these 2 babies. Please, I need your help. Is that something a postpartum doula would do? Or would they just be like, girl, you need a nanny, go on about your business? But I'm like, if I know you to be a postpartum doula, I don't think I want a nanny. I want somebody that I'm more personable with, and somebody that will understand my situation a little bit more, other than to just be a nanny. So
no,
everything
you're
you're
right.
describing is what I'm looking for in someone to go with me. So is that something
like
you do?
for 6 nights, 7 days, right?
Right. Right.
I mean, that is something that I'm absolutely open to doing. And I think that the difference between a nanny and a postpartum doula, now, if your children are 2 and 4, we do, like, I'm a sibling doula also. So, like, it's not unusual for me to work with the siblings. And so they can be older kids. And so take Selena on vacation with you. Okay, yes. And I'm actually a really good travel agent too, and I have great recommendations for places where we can go. But yeah, usually, I think that, man, you pay so much money to go on a vacation. It would be nice if you could just go and have fun and know that your 2 and 4-year-old were taken care of, and that you can have a late night and not have to worry about who's going to be with the kids, right? We've all done this. Dawn and me know. Which kid is which teenager we gonna leave in this room with these kids so we can go have fun? And like, that's something that, obviously those are the things we do when we don't have other choices. But if in fact you wanted to hire a postpartum doula for a long-term period of time like that for a vacation, it's not something I would say no to. Now there obviously may be doulas that don't have the flexibility for that. They might have their own babies at home, those sorts of things. So I think it's just not impossible to find a doula that will be willing to do that.
But you know what, Naomi, I don't think that's ridiculous. And the reason I say that is because we all know that postpartum is not 6 weeks. Whoever wrote that in a book, I just need them to rip that page out. I honestly think every woman that's had a baby is postpartum, especially in that child's formative years. And if you take someone versed in that what it does to you mentally and psychologically, when you have those really bad days, to have that postpartum doula that can talk to you about your sanity and understand that just because you've fallen apart today doesn't mean you're going to fall apart tomorrow, and saying, you know what, Celine, take these kids, I'm going to go walk on the beach. I don't want to hear the word mommy no more today. I don't want to worry about nobody eating their food. And for her to understand that, and her to be a safe place, that's a realistic expectation. We don't have enough safe places to say, I love my kids, but I don't like them today. Can you be like, just, take them. And matter of fact, take their daddy with you, like, cause I gotta go over here and be by myself. But if we had enough safe spaces, I don't think we would have as much postpartum depression because we would be able to release that. So I don't think it's a ridiculous question. I think it's a great question. Like, at what point do you say, because a nanny, y'all know, we can get these younger nannies, they college students, they never had a baby. You might get an older one. You can get an au pair from a different country that's never had a baby, and they can be your nanny. But to have someone that's a mom that knows what postpartum felt like and looked like, to be there for you to be able to say, you my safe space, and I'm gonna say, I don't like nobody in my house today, and they gonna be like, yep, but tomorrow you'll feel better. Go lay down for 8 hours. That's a great tool to have. So, and Selena says she's not opposed, to going on vacation. And we know Selena, and we trust her. And she's not running off with your kids because she got her own and she don't want nobody else's. So that's a thing too. So we appreciate you, Selena.
Yeah.
How long is your
Thank you for having me.
How long is your thing tonight? Like, how long are you with little person?
I'll be at work from 10 to 7 in the morning. And he's a great little guy. This is the one who was in the NICU, and he's back out, and he's a little chunky. Like, these NICU babies, they always make up for lost time. Like, he's such a chunky baby, and such a good eater. So that's always nice. I kind of feel like a lot of times my shifts are like campouts with baby, if you could think of it that way. It's like me and baby are having a sleepover. So I love this work. It's definitely thank you to Dawn Pitts Smith for helping me find my passion, because Dawn was like, I think you'll be good at this. And I was like, okay, I think I'll try it out. And I did not know that this was going to change my life the way it did. I literally just left my full-time job that I've been at for over 10 years and I started doing birth work full-time. So thank you to Dawn.
But I've known her since 6th grade, so we go way back.
Yeah.
Before anybody knew what the word doula meant,
Yes,
Dawn was doula-ing for sure.
Yes. Right. All right. Well, we so appreciate you. Anybody that wants to get in contact with Selena, we absolutely can put you in contact with Selena to set up postpartum shifts. And just, if you want somebody that's going to be your birth doula, and so you want somebody longer term, by all means reach out to us and we will put you in contact with Selena. Good night, Selena. Thank you. And chunky
all
chunkies.
Right.
All right, Mama.
Yes, thank you. Everybody have a great night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
So y'all, listening to what Selena said, with those that plan on having more littles, how many of you are planning on investing in a postpartum doula? Angie, everybody, we know that the baby not gonna get no more siblings. We're gonna keep working.
I didn't know about it, honestly. I didn't know a lot about it, but from what she said, she's a lifesaver.
Right.
If I could afford it, I listen.
But you might be able to
kick me out this group. I might just call her.
In my mind right now, I'm having another baby and calling Selena just so she could take care of this baby.
But it's so you understand. So it's sanity. It's peace of mind. And Rachel, that's a good point. Like, most people don't know. Like, a lot of people don't know what birth doulas are. They're slowly learning what birth doulas are, but now we need to push out what a postpartum doula is, because
that's 4th trimester when women get into the postpartum depression thing.
Yes.
If she could come in and just do what she just talked about.
And it don't have to be 7 nights a week. 1, 2, some people will say, I just need somebody 1 night a week. And I know when we first brought the twins home, that was the biggest transition for us, is having these twins in the house. And we old, so we used to saying, we going to bed. The rest of y'all in the house go to bed whenever you go to bed. Like, I ain't had to put nobody to bed. But now you got 2 little people that are up every 2 hours, and because they were preemie, they had to eat every 2 hours, and so it was a lot. So having a person here 2 nights a week, where they get here 9, 10 o'clock, And we like, "Oh, here it is, everything." And she knew where everything was. She had access to all of their stuff. And we just went to bed, and we got up in the morning at 7 o'clock to take them back. It was great because we were tired. Like we were tired. So I didn't have the recovery process. So because they're not, from the womb little people, I didn't have the recovery process. But for me to imagine the recovery process on top of this,
it takes away the pressure of you being like, oh, family's not there for me and all this stuff. It's like, yo, oh girl, that's her job. Like,
yes,
I'm here. I got you. You
yes.
be like, oh, come to everybody else.
I'm just saying,
So,
light a candle, go to bed, especially for those that have, not that vaginal birth is any less, but C-section is major surgery on top of having a baby. So vaginal births can make you feel like, stuff out the bottom about to drop out. And that's the thing. But to recover from major abdominal surgery, where you can't laugh, you can't cough, you can't sneeze, none of that, like all just the thought, like you feel that sneeze building up, and in your mind you
can't
already
sit down or get up.
Yes,
normally.
all of that stuff. To have somebody there with you to support you through that is a big thing. It's a big thing, and I recommend it for anybody. And again, if you feel like you still going through, some things mentally, emotionally, it's not too late to have a postpartum doula come in. Because my big question too, Dawn and I help with something called unpacking your birth story, especially for people that want to have more or that had a birth other than the one that they had. If you don't unpack that, if you don't get that out of here, it can keep you in this place. So having a birth doula just to come in and say, let's talk about this, because this thing was a hot mess and none of it happened. And whether it was vaginal or C-section, whatever happened, having somebody that can walk through and understand what birth and the physiological changes your body goes through is a big thing. And we recommend it like 100%. So if you want to take on vacation with you, I don't blame you. If y'all want to travel with somebody, that's an option to be able to have a safe place to mentally unwind and get it all out. I recommend it. And I know all of y'all looking at me. That's about everybody on here not having a second one, but a couple of y'all gonna have another one.
Come on over here and smell this baby.
I think Sharon almost raised her hand.
Sharon said, what we're not about to do is do that again. But I'm just saying, there's a couple of y'all on here that gonna fall into that category.
Come on and smell the perfume. That's all you gotta do is smell the perfume.
That's okay. It's okay.
Angie,
I'm allergic.
What? You won't break out. You won't get high.
I think we all still traumatized. So
what we traumatized about, Shereen?
what we traumatized? Do you see our group chats?
I think I'm gonna start I got a new bone to pick with Mother Rouse. Ain't nobody prepared me for this new phase. That's the trauma now. Bump the newborn phase. This right here.
Yes, the newborn was easy compared to all this
newborn.
stuff.
Well, wait till you get to 3, 4, and 5, and you don't have no sibling for that one to play with. Then you really
deal with one to play. It's the spit because they so mad. It's
the falling out, the throwing
no.
15 minutes. My kid was hiccuping, couldn't breathe because he had his hoodie on, his shoes off, he's sweating, rolling on the floor, starts hitting his toys. So I'm trying to tell him, don't hit, but I'm hitting you and tell you not hit. And he's screaming. I really sat here like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then he finally started calming. I try to pick him up. I'm like, I feel bad. My kid is hyperventilating. Pick him up. He's like, okay, so go. Put you right back on the floor. Like, go ahead. Figure it out.
Oh, what about the
And he,
kid?
he was fine.
The
And then I
kid
gave
kid.
him a cookie. He looked at me. Hi. I said, what? What?
He's
what
abusing
just
you,
happened?
Rachel.
Oh, bees. And in bedtime, we read stories. We drink milk. We do everything. Let's go to bed. No. We're not starting this again. So he threw himself on the floor in his room. I turned off all the lights. Let's do it in the dark. Finally, took him forever to go to sleep. I'm like, what are you doing?
Real.
I don't know what the problem is. I mean, listen, if they had a sibling, you could send them to their room. Now mine, they go upstairs together, they play nicely till they not nice. I told y'all one, because I don't know if we put the pajamas on backwards. So they couldn't take them off and like be naked. And Shay unzipped Queen.
She had to help her sister out.
She did, and I was done. Like, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. But they occupy each other. So
Yeah.
y'all, come on, smell the wonderfulness. He smells so good. I got to hold him too. He smells so good, y'all.
Yeah. My nose already itching.
Stop playing.
Oh, and the one thing I wanted to mention too, put that on your registry. You can put, like, we put diaper fund money and all this.
That's
Get
true.
the people to pay for your birth doula and your postpartum doula. Like, if they really want to do something, start the little piggy bank fund and have other people pay for it. So I'm saying if they can buy you $300, $400, $500 stroller set for car seats, they can definitely invest in you having a postpartum and a birth doula. That's all I'm saying.
And sometimes all you need is a 4-hour nap, and you back to earth.
That's fact.
Sharon, you were great. Say something. I saw you unmute.
Oh,
Sharon, were you great? Say something. Oh, okay.
no. I was about to say the problem is the education. Because even sometimes you put it on your registry and people are like, what you need that for? What's that? I ain't had that.
A hater.
You may not have had it.
Hater.
You probably don't know what it is,
That's
but
why it's not on your registry. This ain't about you. This is
And
my
if they
registry.
old, they
That's
had
how you
cloth
know.
diapers. Well, not too many people use them anymore either. That don't mean we don't need these
Like,
disposable.
did you not
Right.
know that you search for my registry? Focus on what I want.
Give me what I need. Y'all don't
Right.
even understand breastfeeding, but I want to do all of that. So we're gonna put it on your registry. Speaking of which, I'm excited about next week's chat, y'all.
Woo.
Cherie is co-hosting with Cherie's approved list next week.
Fix your face.
Listen. Cherie gonna come back in here with the rabbit hole situation. And when we talk today, she was already planning tomorrow to work on her list. So let me tell y'all, if you need to make a birth registry, Cherie got a list. And I'm excited. Like, for those of you that are not a part of the village, y'all just don't understand.
You should get Shelly involved in that on how to travel super light with a newborn. Don't check
That
no
actually
bag.
was, yeah,
Don't check
Rachel,
bags.
you got a
That
point
was
there.
amazing.
She takes the cake on that one.
Dawn,
Yeah,
they
Yes,
travel
Dawn.
with a newborn with carry-on only.
And she
Yeah.
had
They check
everything.
no bags.
I
They
can't
had
wait to do a
everything.
debrief tomorrow. Is she
They
gonna be on
come
the
back,
chat
yes.
tomorrow? Because I need a full debrief. I should text her tonight and be like,
She had medicine,
ready.
she had milk, she had clothes, she had swimming stuff.
to see how that was possible. Because
Bottles
all the
and
stuff I
all.
bought.
I'm about to
And
try
bottles.
it. I'm about to try it. When we go for Thanksgiving for 2
Yeah.
weeks, only thing I'm taking is carry on. I've been packing. Y'all, I done packed my stuff like 2-3 times trying to make it all fit. But I'm gonna make it happen because
Shayna,
I'm
first
trying
of
to
all,
figure it out.
Shelly was traveling for a couple of days. You just said 2 weeks. Oh,
But you could make it work though, because you get a carry-on and a personal item. And your husband will get a carry-on and a personal item.
It's just me.
Oh.
It's just me and
Yeah,
Jack.
so So yeah, you can make it work. Just
I'm
there's
gonna try to
laundry.
make it happen because I always overpack. So I'm like, wait a minute.
Don't do a
I'll figure
Cherie.
it
Pack
out.
a new bottle for every day that you're gonna be gone. You're gonna wash
That
your
was
bottle.
funny. Yes.
She got one a day and throw away.
I had all the contingencies laid out. I was ready for that baby to get sick, to have blowouts.
What'd you
to
say?
have
A whole carton of diapers?
Yes, she did.
and
Y'all
swim
should've seen it.
diapers. Yeah. Oh yeah, Naomi, you did see it because I was freaking out, and Naomi was like, "Show me your suitcase." I showed her all the things. I bought a pump for the blow up pool stuff. I actually bought a pump. Yes, for the
Dawn,
Put a
tell her
funny
get it
pump.
together. Tell her get it together.
Wait a minute, why you ain't called me? I could have told you that they be having the pump at the
We told her that, but you
for
know,
somebody to
she had to have her own.
I had a pump for both Don, do you know I bought a tub, a blow up tub for the tub. A blow up tub for the tub. Because I didn't want to be cleaning out the tub. So I said, I'm buying a blow up tub. I blow it up. That's where she's gonna get her nightly baths.
So you was a
Listen,
hot,
mind you,
sweaty
there's
mess
cleaning
in
people
that
Y'all see
hotel
why we
room.
excited about next week? Because this,
It was good though. It actually worked out. We
but
stayed at the
Cherie,
Ibero
didn't you have
Spa,
to
and
wash
actually
the
he
blow
was
up
very
tub too? Like, didn't you have to wash that? Like,
No, because it was brand new. So I just put her in there every night. We was only there for like 4 nights. So I left it there when I left. Had a whole bunch of room in my suitcase. Yeah, packed all the snacks. I packed all the
Cherie
play
got money to
snacks.
burn.
No, it's not
Throw the
that.
money
Y'all.
in the air.
Yeah.
You either
That's
gonna
what she
spend
say.
your time or your money. And right now, time is more of a commodity for me. Right now in my life. Now, when I buy this house, I'm be,
balling on
doing
a
all the
budget.
coupons and stuff.
How you say it, Sheree, to
Balling
dream a
on a
dream.
budget.
The dream a dream.
To dream a
Exactly.
dream.
But yeah, I did all the things. But I went through it, so y'all don't have to.
Yes, that's exactly why we got
Even too,
Wind
because
Down
when
with
it was time
Cherie
for me to
next week.
go to my trip after you, I made sure to ask, and then I just condensed on what you said. So
And if you fly Southwest, you actually get 2 carrier. You can get the two suitcase. I could never travel like that because I overpack just in case, and I still end up coming back with more than I left with. But I just
That's why I
I'm
always fly
excited.
Southwest. You don't have to.
and I
You
think
don't have to carry a carry on. Southwest allows 2 bags.
I think the
You do
baby
something
also
else.
is allowed one personal item too, Sheenan. So you might be able to have another bag.
If they don't have a
Oh,
seat,
yeah.
Diaper bag.
It'll be
That's
his
right,
diaper
the diaper
bag.
bag.
Yep, I'll have his
Mhm.
diaper bag. I'll have my own personal, and then I'll have the carry-on. I'm gonna make
well,
it happen.
y'all
Your
know what
personal
Cherie's
bag
diaper
should
bag
be a
was like,
nice big
though.
old bag.
Cherie's diaper bag was probably heavy as a suitcase.
Let me tell you that everything was packed full to the brim. I had so much stuff in the baby suitcase because I went to TJ Maxx and bought another suitcase. I had so much stuff in her suitcase. I had to put stuff in the little one suitcase because he packed light wherever he go. So half his stuff was the baby stuff. So
Cherie.
and
how
then
much
I
of
had
that
to pack
stuff-
my
I never asked how much of that stuff did you use everything that you took?
for the baby.
No.
Yes. For the baby, yes, I did. That little spinner thing to keep her entertained, the snacks, the milk every night, the milk. I did bring a hair too many snacks, but it's all, I'd rather have more snacks because, I have a picky eater. So I knew she was going to eat fruit, but then I got nervous because I'm like, during the day, she might not eat other things. So I bought things I knew she would eat, like the little pouches. But I used mostly all of that. All of her clothes were used.
Did
I
you
didn't
unpack those suitcases when you came back, or they still somewhere packed up?
Oh no! As soon as I get home, I put everything in a washing machine. Yep, I unpack.
I need your budget, Cherie. I need your travel budget.
No, it didn't cost that much because I bought stuff over the course of 3 months.
That don't
leading
mean
up
it didn't
to-
cost that much. It just means you spread the payments out. It costs the same amount. It's just that instead of paying $1,000,
I didn't feel
pay
it. But I can tell you,
$333 a
I didn't
month.
feel it.
That's all that means. That I'm just saying. Anyway, I love Cherie. Next week is gonna be so much fun. I
got a whole list.
Get your mind right. Y'all gotta be ready for Cherie. Cherie gotta get her mind. We gotta get our mind right. It's gonna be Comedy Central over here.
I will do this. I will break it down from must have, nice to have, and if you can splurge. That's how I'm gonna do the list. I'm gonna redo my list because since y'all keep beating me up about throwing money in the air, I will redo the list.
We're not beating you. If you can do it, do it. If that's what you are comfortable doing, I am not going to yuck nobody's young.
We gonna have a PowerPoint presentation, Cherie?
$3 million pension or an
giving you an idea.
Whatever it is, do it.
Do y'all want a PowerPoint? I wasn't thinking about getting that involved.
You could do visual,
Cherie, however you show up next week,
audience,
we all gonna be here like this. We're gonna be sitting here just like this next week. However you show up.
I'll be ready to take notes, Cherie. I'll be ready with my
notes. So that the audience that's watching the videos can just do screen grabs.
Just like you do for your job. If you want to give us a PowerPoint,
y'all
you
turn
got
this
about
into a work
45
project now.
minutes to do a PowerPoint, and we're gonna be
y'all gonna have me on the cruise trying to log in to see what in the world is going on.
And Sheena gonna be capturing it all to put it on YouTube. So Amazon can see we be pushing them. So whatever you do, I'm gonna give you host, I'm gonna give you screen share, and we all gonna sit here like this next week, and we just gonna watch because we're gonna let you do you. It's your show, boo.
Okay, y'all putting the pressure on. I don't know if I'm gonna do a PowerPoint because that adds the complexity to the list. But okay, now that I know that I'm gonna
have your list ready in time, feel free to ping me. I can put your PowerPoint together for you.
And you gotta show the stuff. You gotta show the stuff. Head of stuff.
So like, if you put it together
the real life
time,
or just a picture. Y'all talking about like
you can just show the picture, like have the links and stuff. Get with Rachel. Rachel gonna hook you up. It's gonna be Cherie says, and we just go. I'm gonna just go live from our Facebook page.
But she might have some pictures.
But she might have some of the things
with the baby
with her.
using some of the stuff, so she should like. And here we are using.
Yeah, if you got pictures, if you got pictures of like, you always talk about the floaty with the hood thing for the pool. If you got a picture of her in that, you can show that and like whatever you want. Whatever you want to do.
I left it at the resort.
But you have pictures.
Sand buckets for castles, okay?
A $30 thing away.
I just left it at the resort in the pool.
I
gave it to another mother.
Like this.
She had a money machine. Somebody was dancing.
Back up. No,
you want that $1 billion, that $1.9 billion, and we ain't know.
I know, right?
I did not. It was real cheap. No, I left it at the resort for another mom because I saw another mom and she was in the pool and I felt bad for her because she was holding her baby. And I said, hey, I'm leaving tomorrow. You want this? She said, sure.
Now that's the communal float. Every mom has passed that on. That float is still where
that jump like an Aldi card.
You should have wrote your email address on the side and said, anybody uses float, email me so we could have seen how many people use that daggone.
Yeah. And you know what else was a hit too at the resort? The little placemats, the little sticky placemats.
Yes, from Chick-fil-A.
Everybody loved those too.
So
yeah, those are awesome. I love those.
Y'all join us here next week because
that will be on the list.
Going to be on the list. I'm gonna try to do this outro real quick so we can say good night. It is still spinning. If it does not do what it's supposed to do and it acts like it did, it's just gonna be an abrupt cutoff. I apologize in advance. I'm old. Don't talk about me or just talk about me. I don't care. But we're gonna try to I'm gonna try to do this and see if it'll go, but it may not. If not, I see y'all next week. Be here next week for Cherie, y'all. I'm just throwing it out there. Just be here next week. Thank you to Selena. We love Selena. Thank you to Selena if you're still watching. We appreciate you tonight. And if you need Selena, just let us know and we'll get y'all connected. Let's try this, y'all. are out, ladies.